In 2010, the Turpin family heads west, ending up in Golden, California.
It's unclear why they moved to California. They don't have any family out here. Perhaps it was for work. You just don't know.
Once here, the family lives in two different middle-class homes in the Los Angeles exurbs, with the kind of attractive, well-maintained exteriors that wouldn't raise suspicions, and for years, there were none.
They did leave the house at times, so it's not that they never left the house.
And some of the places they traveled to were where any normal family would go.
She was obsessed with Disneyland. Her whole marriage, they've had season passes and go regularly. They were obsessed with Disney and Mickey Mouse.
Another spot the family enjoyed, Las Vegas. They were especially fond of one place kind of hidden off the famous strip, a small spot called the Elvis Chapel.
Well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now, go, but don't you.
Here, it's always blue suede shoes. Kent Ripley plays the king and the justice of the peace as well.
It is my honor to announce to the world that the two of you are still married. Husband and wife. David, it's time to kiss your beautiful wife.
Obviously feeling very love me tender.
Oh, my darling, he loves you.
David and Louise came here 3 times to renew their vows. Twice they brought all of their kids along.
I remember them, of course, immediately. The kids remembered me. I would say it was a loving family.
According to Ripley, there was nothing obvious that would make the Turpins appear any different from all the others who come here to share a beautiful moment of family togetherness.
David and Louise.
It was a fun wedding because I got to see smiles on their kids'
Well,
faces.
today we have a symbol of love to exchange again.
Like here, the smallest boy acts as the ring bearer.
Baby, 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 baby. Yeah, that's Daddy, yes.
Louise danced with her daughters to Suspicious Minds.
Because I love you too much, baby.
David and the boys took a turn to a little less conversation.
Yeah! A little less conversation, a little more action. Oh, yes.
And then at the end, the big finale had everybody up on the stage.
Yeah!
It was Viva Las Vegas, all right. But back in California, David registered with the state as the Sandcastle Day School, so the kids could be homeschooled. And whatever was going on in the family stayed in the family. Although it turns out one of the oldest victims actually attended some outside classes. Did you ever actually see the kids yourself outside?
Not outside, but...
Neighbor Mike Clifford, who works the graveyard shift, says he did see something odd, though, late at night.
You know, I'd come home at anywhere from 12:30 to 3 in the morning. Is the kids marching between those two rooms up there.
At 12:30 to 3 o'clock in the morning?
That's when I get home, and that's when I would see them.
And how long would they march back and forth for in single file?
Hours.
Clifford says he figured the adults were doing some kind of therapy.
She explained that she had escaped through a window.
And so he was as shocked as everyone else. And for the first time, investigators got some idea of what appears to have been happening.
This morning, the Riverside County District Attorney's Office filed criminal charges against David and Louise Turpin.
When you first heard about the case, could you wrap your head around how monstrous it was?
No, because when I first heard about the case, all I heard was that there were some siblings, some kids that were being held captive in a house.
Hestrin tells us he's only begun to learn the scope of the allegations.
This is an ongoing investigation. We are at the beginning, not the end.
When deputies found the 12 siblings, what were the conditions that they encountered in that house?
They're horrible. Conditions are absolutely deplorable. It smelled as filthy. It's clear that some of the victims, when they're chained, are not being taken to the bathroom to relieve themselves. They were fed, obviously, but they weren't fed enough. I think many of them were very hungry.
In a blur of cruelty, Hestrin alleges the parents would leave delicacies like pies on a counter where the kids could see and smell, but were forbidden to touch and eat. And perhaps even more disturbing, there were apparently 2 happy and healthy Maltese dogs in the home, who it's alleged were better fed than the children.
So what did they do all day?
I don't know.
Were they allowed cell phones?
No.
Television?
No.
Music?
As far as I know, no.
Books?
I don't know.
Were they allowed to have toys?
Apparently, the information that I have is that they were not allowed to play with toys. There were many toys at the residence, some in the garage, that are still in their original boxes.
Still in the wrapping?
Still in the original wrapping.
Hestrin speculates it was all a method to maintain complete control over the children.
They would go to sleep at 4 or 5 in the morning, sleep all day. When the rest of the world is up and active, they're sleeping, the whole family's asleep, and then they would get up and do whatever activities they were going to do throughout the night.
We met a neighbor who said that he would see the kids being marched in circles for hours from midnight to 3 a.m. Is that something that you're aware of?
No. No, that's new to me. We're unwrapping this case. We're looking into this case. We're at the beginning. We'll get to the bottom of all of it.
Part of that will come from interviewing the kids. Part of it will come from reading the hundreds of journals Hestrin says the children were allowed to keep.
It's so strange that these parents took away basically every single human freedom from these children, but they allowed them to express themselves in these journals.
Yes.
What do you think that's about?
I don't know. What this looks like to us right now is punishment that's gone, way out of whack.
For example, Hestrin believes the children were allowed 1 shower a year, and if they washed their hands above the wrist, they were punished for supposedly playing in the water and put in chains.
Punishments included frequent beatings and even strangulation. We're not robots, and this is difficult for everybody that sees these images and hears these stories. But ultimately, our job is to go into court and seek justice, and we're going to do that. Yes.
Is there so much depravity, so much cruelty here that it's sort of this bottomless pit, that it will take you a long time just to get to the bottom of it?
It sure feels like that. It feels from our perspective that we're looking into a pit and we don't know where the bottom is.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.